3 things you never want to sell on Etsy. Hey everybody, my name is Marcella Dominguez. I'm a trademark lawyer helping Etsy sellers making sure that they do not get their accounts suspended for trademark or copyright violations. Here are the top 3 things to never sell on Etsy if you are a beginner and you want to know how to keep your shop alive. Number 1, you want to make sure that you are not selling anything that is copyrighted. Well, if you're new to selling on Etsy and you need a definition for a copyright, you want to make sure that you watch that video right there because it will give you a very basic entry-level explanation as to what a copyright even is. This is really, really important so that you're not wondering along the way, along your Etsy journey, like, what is a copyright? Am I doing this right? Did I make the right guess? No more guessing. You will know what a copyright is and whether or not you will be infringing on somebody's copyright. But I'm going to give you a couple of examples nonetheless of what a copyright entails so that you know to avoid using copyrighted material. So a copyrighted material can come in the form of artwork, it can come in the form of lyrics, it can come in the form of sketches, it can come in the form of sculptures, it can come in the form of a simple design, a complex design. Number 2, what you should not be selling on Etsy. You should not be selling anything that violates somebody's trademark. So what is a trademark? It is typically any name, logo, slogan, or sound that someone is using in connection with a business. So if they are selling a product or service, then that product or service is connected to the name, logo, or slogan. And you want to make sure that you're not, using that name, logo, or slogan on merchandise, t-shirts, cups, sweatshirts. You're not using it in any way, shape, or form. So you want to avoid using somebody else's trademark. And for a more in-depth explanation of what a trademark is, you want to make sure you catch that video right there because again, I give you a very beginner's explanation on what a trademark even is. But on the screen right now, I want to show you some intellectual property violations that are taking place or have taken place on Etsy that you want to avoid. Now, the third thing that you should never ever be selling on Etsy is a product that you obtained from a wholesaler. So in other words, you don't want to go to a wholesaler and say, hey, what do you have for me to sell? Or I'm looking for a necklace, I'm looking for a particular coffee mug, I'm looking for anything. And that's what you want to buy from them. You don't want to buy anything from a wholesaler and then decide that that's what you're going to sell on Etsy. You see, Etsy is a marketplace for handmade items, for unique goods. And so when you acquire wholesale items, and then you think you can resell them on the Etsy platform and then you get kicked off, well, don't say I didn't tell you because Etsy is getting really, really strict about items that are on the platform that are not handmade. So if you need more information on what handmade actually means, you can refer to Etsy's policies and I'm going to link it down below so that you can always have immediate access to it. For some of you, you might think, oh my gosh, it's going to be so boring to read it. It's going to be in terms that I don't even understand, but just take a stab at it. In my opinion, it's always worth it to try and understand something. And then if you don't understand it, you can always send me an email, which is free, and I will try to answer your question as best as I can. But at least make an attempt to understand what is it that Etsy does not like. Because remember, if they don't like it, then they will kick you off. And you don't want to be coming to me saying, hey, my account is suspended. Can you help me get it back? Because if you can familiarize yourself with their rules, then you could avoid a lot of headaches. One great reason why you should be reading through some of these policies and their terms and conditions, because if you are playing in their playground, then you want to know their rules, right? This isn't your set of rules. This isn't your friend's set of rules. This is Etsy's set of rules. So you want to make sure that you're abiding by their rules, just like you would in a teacher's classroom or by the judge's rules in his courtroom. You want to make sure that you're abiding by Etsy's policies, terms and conditions when you are playing in their playground. By educating yourself and familiarizing yourself with the rules, you will also avoid the question of why did Etsy suspend my account? I didn't do anything wrong. There are lots of customers out there that say, Etsy suspended my account for no reason. And the reality is if you just read through some of those terms and conditions and their policies, then you would understand, oh, maybe I did screw up. Maybe I could have done something differently. Maybe I could have just read a sentence or two or watched Marcella's videos prior to selling on Etsy so that I wouldn't run into these issues. So if you have a question about whether you can or you should sell something on Etsy, make sure to drop it in the comments below, or you can send me an email, which will also be linked in the description because it's always free to send me me an email. And if you've gone onto Etsy.com and you've browsed for yourself to see what handmade products are out there or what merchandise is out there, you might have seen products that actually violate one of these 3 things that I told you to never do. So you're probably wondering, but Marcella, there's people on there that are selling products that clearly violate someone's trademark or violate somebody's copyright, or they're reselling items that clearly have been wholesale. So what are you supposed to do? Are you still supposed to listen to what I tell you in this video? Because it seems contradictory. It doesn't make any sense. And you're wondering, why can somebody else profit and you can't? And my answer will always be the same. It is only a matter of time. Etsy is trying to improve the technology that they use to be able to flag these accounts that are doing the things that they should not be doing, some of which I mentioned in this video. And it is only a matter of time before they get taken down. I don't want you to believe that these sellers are immune from any type of consequence, because that is not the case. I truly believe that if you just wait it out a little bit, you will see that more and more of these sellers and more of these accounts will become deactivated and suspended. So if you decide to sell on the Etsy platform and you find yourself in one of these unfortunate situations where your account is deactivated or suspended and you just don't know what to do, maybe you filed an appeal already, maybe you filled out the form and nobody has gotten back to you, or maybe they have, and you still feel like you should have an opportunity to put your best foot forward and make your best case, then make sure to send me an email down below and I'd be more than happy to help you try and reactivate your Etsy account.
So what else is Etsy committed to doing in 2023?
In Etsy's 2022 transparency report, that they did want to invest over $50 million, not $50 million in continued trust and safety on Etsy, meaning that they're going to expand the number of people working for them who will manually review any deactivations and suspensions. But again, I've created this video so that you don't have to worry about going through that process of waiting for somebody to manually review your appeal, because it can be frustrating and time is money. And I know that for a lot of you, selling on these types of platforms can be your bread and butter. So if this video was helpful, please make sure to give me a thumbs up down below and also leave me a comment with what the most valuable piece of advice was from this video. I want to continue to show up in your feed and other people's feeds too, so that I can continue to help you guys with your Etsy journey and also your online business. And don't forget to catch that video right there.